So my name is Musoke Patrick. I'm a CPA, and we are going to hold a small revision in taxation. So we shall start with what is tax. What is taxation? And briefly, this is the compulsory contribution to government to raise revenue to meet government expenditure. To meet government expenditure. So in this revision class, there are certain key things I want you to have on your fingertips. For example, canons of taxation. This is the introductory part in tax. You need to know what canons of taxation are by now. You need to know badges of trade. Badges of trade, or what they call the indices of trade, indicators of trade. So these are very important theory issues you're supposed to have in your mind. You need to know what is tax avoidance and tax evasion and the difference. What is tax avoidance? What is tax evasion? Which one is legal? Which one is illegal? And you see it in your past papers that at times the examiner asks the theory parts, not the computational part. Theory part is very important and carries to marks. We need to know what is tax compliance and factors affecting tax compliance. So these factors can be both positive and negative. So when they talk about tax compliance, it is a degree, and you know degrees vary, to which taxpayers comply or fail to comply. So some people comply and pay taxes, they have their own reasons, and you need to know them. Some people don't pay taxes and they have their own reasons why they don't pay taxes. So you can say tax compliance can be high, can be average, it can be low, depending on the factors. Are we there? So that's very important there to know. We need to know classifications of taxes. Direct and indirect. And that means we need to know impact and incidence. Impact and incidence. Are we there? We need to know characteristics of taxes. You need to go in, you know those things. This is just the theory part. Most people want computations most of the time, but tax is not about computations. These theory parts at times come and you have 5 or 10 marks. And if they go away, you're left with 90. And you can't get all the 90 in the computation. You need to know what is e-tax. E-tax. This comprises of e-filing, e-payment, e-registration. You need to go when you know something about digital tax stamps. You need to know when you go about e-invoicing. And the penalties. He has started setting penalties a lot. You need to know what they mean by TIN, tax identification number, and what are the benefits of having a TIN. Are we there? So that is the introduction, the theory part, which you need to read because now he knows most people are interested in computations and they go for computations. So he gives the theory part a lot of marks to make sure he shifts you back to reading theory. Now I want us to look at employment income. Employment income. The definition should be there in your head. Who is an employer? The definition should be there in your head. Who is an employee? The definition is very important. At times, this is what he brings under the theory part. Who is a person? A person in tax is different from a person in normal English. So you need to know who a person is, as opposed to an individual. Most people think a person is an individual. A person for tax purposes, as you know, includes everything: an individual, a company, a trust, a partnership. So an individual is part of a person when you're looking at tax. What is chargeable income? Those are definitions. What is gross income as opposed to chargeable income? What is a year of income? We have a year of income for tax purposes. You need to know the definition. What is a substituted year? Those are very important there. Those definitions, they are very important. And under employment income, for tax purposes, we need to know who a resident individual is. Who is a resident individual and who is a non-resident? The definition. Now, this one is very important under employment income because of two reasons. And if you don't know this, that's why you can fail employment income, yet very many people think it's very easy. So we need to know the definition of a resident individual because one, the tax rates you use when you are taxing a resident individual are different from the tax rates you use when you are taxing a non-resident. The second thing is the tax jurisdiction. Here we use the monthly stroke annual resident rates. Here we use the monthly or annual non-resident rates.